now that you've doubled down on your values, you've rejected a bunch of stuff that you were doing before that you don't really vibe with.
Yeah.
You're creating your own content quickly, meaning that by doing it so fast, you're like cutting out filters and stuff like that. What does it mean for you as, I guess, first as an owner, and then we'll talk as a part of the community, employee, assistant, whatever the role is.
No one knows.
Yeah.
Consiglia.
Enigma.
Consiglia.
But like, what does it mean for you now? How do you feel about your business based on the work that you're doing now versus, I don't know, 2 years ago?
I don't know, it's a really interesting space right now in my brain because everything's going the way I'd like it to, or I wanted it to a couple of years ago. You know, I think there was this feeling that I wanted more out of the communities, the gyms, the training, the actual business itself a few years ago. And I often get frustrated I wasn't kind of getting there. I didn't really have the foresight or the vision to connect everything together. But now it feels like it's really connecting and like humming, everything's humming, which makes me excited because then I'm like, you know, I get all like crazy eyes about it. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. So it's like really, it's really cool. It's really big. Sometimes it can get very overwhelming because my brain will start to just roll on, like we were talking about G6s the other day, sort of thing, and like it just kind of grows. But I think that sort of energy is really, I think it's infectious for a lot of people here.
Yeah.
And they can see that we kind of have the intentions to kind of like go and provide more and do more of what we do, and you know, it's really cool, actually.
It's like, how can they love your business if you don't love your business? Or
exactly,
right?
yeah.
So what was the old Hugo doing if you were going to step back into where he was? What was he not seeing around the business that was holding that vision back, or that was not allowing him to see the missing link?
When did you break bad?
When did I break bad? I don't know. There's just probably like a lot of different voices in my head in regards to like what I needed to be doing, and I was still kind of finding my feet personally as well. I felt like with where my life was going, it was kind of a bit misguided in a lot of different ways. So that's probably replicated and like pushed through the business as well. But now I feel like things are kind of lining up more or less generally in most aspects of my life. As I'm getting older, I'm learning things and growing and that sort of thing. So the business grows as well. So I don't think there's anything I really could have done to actually make that happen any faster than it did. It just feels like we're in a really good spot now, and I'm just really enjoying this space. And just, you know, I'm not trying to get to the end either. It's just an enjoyable space to kind of hang out.
What's it been like for you have you seen that change? Or
Yeah,
did you
I
come
reckon
afterwards?
you had a succinct moment of deciding whether you like got permission from something or like from yourself or whatever, but you just like let loose, like open the taps on it. You know, when you started painting the walls pink, there was this like moment.
They flipped the
Fully.
switch.
Yeah, I felt this change in you probably early this year. Yeah, or like even late last year, where you just had like a huge like throw it up in the air and just be like, rightio, let's do it. There was definitely that, and I was so on board with that energy. I love that. Like people putting things out on the line, you know, it's vulnerable and it's can be received wrong or differently or whatever, you know. So it's I love that kind of courage and things, and I think that's why I was so on board, like ride or die. I love this energy. So yeah, that's when
I think your energy as well and getting you on board made that was kind of like the tipping point as well, I think, because like you know, like logistically I have more time.
Yeah, that's true.
But also, I mean, Sam's energy is like particular, is very close to mine. So I guess had more liberties to kind of take and just take more risk.
Amplify, right? Like, hey, what about this? And the person's like, yeah, what about that and that?
Oh my God, this is, we're like, I mean,
you know what I mean? Some people suddenly, without knowing, it's like habitually spiral down, and some people, like when they see something they believe, they bring it.
Fully. And on that, sometimes we have to stop. Like if an idea is like accelerating really quickly, and we call someone who isn't us and be like, what do you think? And get some other opinions, because like it is infectious. Like when we get ideas going, we're like, oh my God, like this, and it just escalates to this thing, and it's like, okay, all right, do we need to filter this, or do we not need to filter this? And that's how you end up doing weird and wonderful things.
So I want to talk about brand a little bit. There's this like OG brand guru. His name was Marty Neumeyer. He defined brand, and the way he defined it was our gut feeling about you and what you do and what your people do in your service or offer. So I actually own the brand of Valkyrie in my mind space because it's how I feel about you.
Sure.
So you
Gotcha.
kind of got a few different variations of brand, but you can do things to influence brand, right?
Yeah.
So like if you do something crazy, it's going to create a different feeling in my mind and my gut, or you train a certain way. But anyway, what I wanted to ask is like, how do you think about brand? Because I see you're both wearing Valkyrie, sitting in front of a massive wall. I remember the moment where you were like, oh, I'm going to change the logo and I really have to get this done. Like, it was like tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, we gave it a week.
yeah, it was very quick,
done.
and then obviously the signage on the thing. But there's a lot of pride around the stickers on every single like chalk bucket. There's a lot of visual pride or a lot of wearing of the brand. What do you think about brand behind the scenes, and what do you think it means to your people and to this influx of new members and all of that?
I don't know. I feel like the brand for me, it was inspired by things I was generally interested in, or like visuals that I liked, or cultures that were important to me, or things in my personal life. So when you see the brand, it's kind of like, this is me. And I think it's really powerful when people can be like, you know, this is me, all the good stuff, all the bad stuff, I'm going to own every single bit of it. So when it's everywhere, it's kind of like, I feel like when we do that, we give other people that are like, you know, I mean, spaces for people that are the misfits, and give them permission to be like, own yourself and who you want to be, and all that as well.
Yeah.
Would you feel the same?
Yeah, I think it's really important that the branding isn't perfect. It's always changing, it's like super dynamic, and like you say, like this wall is like unfinished, right? Yeah, and that's sends a message to our members that it's cool to just be exactly where you're at as well. This is like super important to us. You know, there's no standard, you know, if it was like beautiful in here, if we got painters in to come and do this thing and like, you know, put the signs up so they were straight and like actually attached to the wall, it would be beyond the point. It misses it completely.
Yeah.
So the branding is authentic and it requires authenticity.
Yeah.
So yeah, we encourage that amongst our members, and I think that's why we wear it with so much pride, because it is so much of us, and everyone who's trained here for a long time or works here or whatever, or is affiliated with the brand in a big way, feels that they have themselves on the line.
Yeah.
Everyone owns it, and we say that like Valkyrie is everyone.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and it sounds a bit cliche, but it really is the embodiment of what we believe in. It's not just like
Yeah.
a thing or a place.
Yeah. 100%.
What are some of the things that you bring in, some of the influences? I know, because a lot of people listen go, that sounds really good, but I don't really know what that means to bring more of myself or more of my own, like, is it music,
Yeah,
is it motorcycles, like what's the story? Like
Brene Brown.
Yeah, I mean, it's
How have you brought it in?
I don't know. It's really hard to explain, right? Because
Yeah.
there's so many different things,
Yeah.
and you don't it's hard to go into that without categorizing things and like.
Well, maybe just
niching
some
things
simple
out.
examples. Like you got the tattoo guy to do the brand, for example. That was one.
My tattoo is Dane Tutty. Shout out to Dane. He's just like such a beautiful.
Dane?
He's just a beautiful human, and he's such a nice guy, and he does awesome tattoos. And I think like beyond how the actual tattoos are, when you go see Dane, it's just like that type of person. He's like fully unfiltered, and just he is who he is. And like when you're around that sort of people, they're going to rub off on you as well. So when, you know, I think we're just going to get that was like just a t-shirt design. And you know, at one point I paid a lot of money for a graphic designer to do the original logo, and I thought about it a lot, and that's when we first opened. I didn't really know which direction where to go with it. But it was so simplistic, being like, Dane did this, and I love it, and because it's Dane, that's it. That's all we have to do.
Yeah.
You know, and just going ahead with that.
So now you just go to him with anything?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we
he's
just
just
click
because
the
he
text.
gets it. He gets it.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's in on the
right,
brand in the same way.
he's right in that sort of same headspace.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm thinking this, and he goes, like, yeah, I get you, no problem, and he can just sort it out.
Yeah.
And like, I guess like with the music as well, it's probably a big thing that influences my life is the kind of music that I'm into, which is like, bands got multiple genres, but you know, it's probably stuff that's a bit left of center for most people, like heavier music.
It's funny though, I think a lot of members don't necessarily relate to the music that we listen to, but they appreciate that we listen to whatever is right.
Yeah, it's
for
like,
us.
you know, like that's like hardcore scenes, like hardcore is an attitude, it's not so much the music.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Misfit
like
kids.
how you show up in that space and how you're allowed, like when you go to a gig and you can just like be you and do your thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's that sort of attitude.
So important, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
that almost transcends the actual what the thing is a little bit. Like if someone's like I get this all the time in training because I kind of like I'll do my own things for a while and then I'll see someone, they're like, oh, it looks like it's just so much fun and you train. I'm like, it is.
Yeah.
It's the most fun thing I could possibly be doing.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything better than what I'm doing in my training.
Yeah.
But they don't want to train that way, but people pick up that person's doing the thing that they want to do or in the way that resonates with them, and that's attractive.
Yeah.
So like maybe they can't stand the music normal like on a Wednesday, but they come in here on Saturday, you guys are here blasting the music. It's like actually this could work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we do get complaints in the surveys about the music. Yeah. People are like, stop it with the heavy metal. I'm like, you signed up for it, man.
Like, I'm really sorry,
But then
it's not gonna
Sundays,
stop. Yeah.
we come in like on Saturday. We listen to 4 hours of Cuban cafe music.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
It's like a good
just whatever
workshop
feels right.
Yeah.
sort of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go through your approach to, because you guys are in, from what I can tell, like in businessy speak, it's like client acquisition or whatever, but you're growing.
Yeah.
You're growing, you're bringing new people into the community,
Yeah.
inviting new people in, the doors are open, and then there's possibly a new chapter in the premises coming,
Yeah.
maybe next year or whatever, at the space. What's your business story right now? Like from your perspective, are you doing a bit of advertising you mentioned? Like
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
talk about marketing, talk about how you're attracting people in.
So right now we're in the space of kind of capturing the world of Valkyrie and what that actually means and is, like from a visual perspective. So translating it through our website, Instagram, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We just got some new photographs for one, like the whole team. So we've brought on a few new staff as well, which is cool to facilitate all the new members. But we had this cool idea, like on the website, to get GIFs and not images. So we just got these like, Josh came in and he did all these like quick things, and all the coach was like, "What do you want us to do?" I'm like, "Just wear whatever you want and just be whoever you want to be." And now it's just going to be like a GIF. So it's, I guess all that sort of stuff, we're trying to just get people more involved with the world, so people can see who the coach
GIF,
is.
you mean like the moving?
Yeah, the moving, like, so
Yeah.
they're gonna like, Eileen's doing like a thing, and it's like totally her.
Yeah.
Like,
Josh
if you-
did that?
Yeah, Josh did, he came in. 'Cause-
Okay.
Yeah, Josh trains here as well.
Talented, eh?
Yeah, Josh is great. Like, I spent a bit of time with Josh over the weekend, just
Yeah.
at the shows that we were at together.
Yeah, great athlete.
Yeah, he's so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got
He,
it.
he looks
greater
so
than
jacked as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's thin.
So you're basically sometimes I call this flipping the script, right? Like at the beginning, sometimes in business, you're like, I need to find people, and you're kind of like searching or chasing a little bit energy, like a grasping kind of energy of the business. But what you're saying is you've flipped the script over a little bit, so you're just blasting out the Valkyrie world every way possible in as much depth and substance as possible. And people are just picking up on it and then jumping along for a while, and if it resonates, they're just walking in.
Essentially, yeah.
kind of.
So like the people we get are pretty qualified in that way.
Yeah.
And they say all the things that are important to us. Our values align in regards to like who they are and what we do.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a no-brainer when we come to the sale or anything like that. And,
Yeah,
and
they're
it's,
already in.
They're already in it.
And it's like, I'd love to have you here. You sound like a really cool person. I'd love to train with you. Excellent. Like it's a really nice like win-win situation.
Yeah.
So then we get people that contribute to the community as well. You know, they might have a bar, or that you might go out or do these things, so they can add to this like smorgasbord of people and just start to like.
Do you ever get people like, hey, like I want to join for some training, and they haven't been in the world at all, and then you're like slowing things down a little bit, or are they pretty much always immersed?
Recently that changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so before that they were finding us through Google, so it was like whatever's on our website, which I think comes across, like you said, very two-dimensional. So we're trying to improve so that there's culture right from the point of the website. But then recently now the people who are getting, like that we're getting leads from are very involved. And last week we had a conversion, a lead from a bloke who found us through the podcast, natively through the podcast, and he came in and knew all of our jokes. And that
Oh,
was the
good.
first
That's
time.
so weird.
It was
You
so
guys
bizarre.
crushed the podcast, though. I sent it to.
Right.
I told Hugo that. Very natural.
Yeah, well,
together.
that's the unfiltered stuff, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Double down. I would just say, dude, the more you can do. We'll share with you how this all goes because we're about to it's not double down, it's like 10x down.
yeah.
But like if there's a way to double down and bring out, you're getting the green light from people that work is working.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah, like with the photo shoot, we got Josh to take a few photos at the back just for the podcast. So we're just trying to like amplify more of that. But like whatever you hear on the podcast is basically what Sam and I do through the day.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, it's came quite, it's a pretty fun thing to do. Hey?
Yeah, and again, I had that huge hesitation at the start. You were like batting at it for weeks. You're like, we should start a podcast. I'm like, everyone who reckons they're interesting starts a podcast.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, right? And then you're like, I'll interview you for the first episode. I'm like, oh, you might have me over the line for that one. And then it was so much fun. We just loved it. And you get like, we just get so much feedback. And we both live for the feedback. And then we know we're doing something right and people are getting stuff out of it. And when people quote you back to you, it
can't remember
is
it.
so surreal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that had an impact on you.
Yeah.
Like a significant impact. Yeah.
You tell me about it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I remember about two years ago, I did a podcast previously, and right when we moved to Newcastle, because we didn't know anyone. So I was like, I got to network and I might as well do this podcast. So I just went hard. And there weren't very many around. I remember thinking, this is really good. I'm meeting great people. I'm sitting down with cafe owners. I'm having coffee with them. I'm finding out their life story. This is amazing. Plus, then I was getting connections, right? So other businesses and stuff. I was like, to Ruby, I was like, this is gonna blow up. In 2 or 3 years, everyone will have a podcast. And that's happened. And it's still even a better idea than it was before. Like, it doesn't matter. And this is, I think, what scares some people off. Well, there's so many out there. There's so many people doing content. Yes, and all you got to do is look at like what you guys are doing, speak specifically to your people, and it's super powerful. You know, it's not about mass.
Trying to get across to everybody, so trying to find your people and hone in on that.
Gen pop or whatever.
I think we think about that when we do a podcast. Is I specifically imagine the like 4 people that I know that listen to it and like talking to them.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a lot more than 4, but it's like
Yeah,
if
you've
you just
got the specific person.
hone in,
Yeah.
on your target, it's good.
Training front, you've got when's that coming up? The Beast.
Beast
Beast
Tamer.
Tamer is on the level 1, which is
22nd of October.
22nd of October. So I'll be doing that. I'm assisting. Sam's actually doing it.
Oh, you're
She's-
doing it.
She's
Yeah,
been
not the
training
Beast
for the
Tamer,
last
oh my God.
No, not the
My
Beast Tamer.
body weight.
She's actually doing the level 1 that we spoke about for the Strong First certification.
Yeah.
So
The
she's-
coaching one.
She's dialed in for that with another like 8 people from the gym.
Yeah.
We got like 28 people.
What did you call that group again?
Death Squad.
Death Squad.
Yeah, Death Squad's
Yeah.
looking super strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna walk in there. You know, like when you see like a movie and it's like a team sport movie and it's the main protagonists are like ragtag and they see like their competitors and they're walking in slow-mo and like they're number 1. That'll be Death Squad. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, 6 months of training,
Yeah.
1 weekend to
Rock
do
solid.
it.
Rock solid. Gonna turn some heads. Yeah.
Anything else coming up?
We are so narrowly focused on this one thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably the biggest thing. It's like a big event for us.
22nd of October, was it?
Yeah, 21st, 22nd, 23rd.
You probably see a lot of stuff about it.
I was going to
coming
say,
up.
you're going to share that story? Like,
Yeah, you won't miss it.
Yeah, it'll be all over the shop because that's probably like what we're just gonna hone in now.
yeah.
Because it's pretty serious for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all attention's on that, all spotlight's on that, and then after, I don't know, we'll do some fun things.
Yeah, might have some time off.
Yeah, why not?
The margarita on the beach.
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll lean back into the fun of it. I think 'cause it's going to get very serious for a little while now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything on the business front you want to talk about? Things happening, changes?
Changes, not so much yet.
Yeah.
We're playing around with some ideas. I got a bit crazy last week and I started thinking about a new space and getting a bar in there and getting a cafe in there and getting a brewery in there and doing shows there. And I started like just piling the ideas on.
Yeah,
That's
this
what-
was one of these moments.
Sean could probably help you out with some
It's,
of
yeah,
that.
Well-
you know, that's what I was thinking. And then we've got Jace who brews the beer and throws
Yeah.
some cakes out the back, and then, you know, it's got a big car park, and we'll have like food trucks and that sort of thing, and then do training. And my partner Ali, she performs, so I'll hook up with producers and do all this stuff. But it'll be also on the same sort of umbrella of what this is and what it stands for. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some big things coming. It's
Yeah.
just like working it out. That's not an overwhelming,
Yeah.
crazy way, and seems doable.
Breaking it down, tiny
Yeah,
little
we're
pieces.
getting there. I think everything we're doing is just like cascading into that.
Yeah.
Because the snowball started, and we're just, you know, riding the wave a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You, yeah, when it gets crazy, sometimes coming back and just tightening up the world is really powerful. Like sitting down and just connecting back to the
Like the essence of it.
yeah,
all.
because
That's this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fully.
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
well that's all from us. I think we're done,
Cool.
and thank you so much for showing us around, and we're going to follow your journey closely. One of the good things I think when people go big and they've got bigger visions is also you get challenges pop up. So I look forward to covering the challenges as well,
Yeah.
and how you overcome them. And I want to just commend you on your work, and Hugo, your leadership, and Sam, your work as well. But I can just see it's all coming together, and like an accelerant is hitting it, you know, which is cool. And so yeah, it's very exciting to watch.
It's very cool. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
fun.
very exciting.
Cool. Anything else?
That's it.
Yeah, we're done, I think.